swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Arua Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Arua City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza, Commissioner.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
A lovely morning to you. Thank you very much for being with us on UBC TV. Welcome to the Extra. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. And this morning, I have a guest with whom we are going to be discussing something very important. Now, whenever you hear of UNOC, Uganda, that's the Uganda National Oil Company, I know you know we are going to be talking about oil. But this time, slightly something regarding oil, but to be specific, local content. Now, when we talk about local content, what does it mean in Uganda's oil sector? And of course, we'll discuss so much regarding that. But join me, welcome my guest this morning, who is Sarah Birungi, who happens to be the head of corporate affairs at the Uganda Oil Company. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Happy to have you again.
Yeah, happy to be here. Always happy to be here.
To begin with, on a lighter note,
Yes.
you know, I can't go any further without a message of hope, even before. To Ugandans, a brief, first what is UNOC, and a brief of where we are now.
Okay. UNOC. You know, now we have really become UNOC, but it is Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC. And we were established by an act of parliament, and the whole mandate we have is to represent our government, your government, in business, in the oil and gas sector. We represent their commercial interests along the entire value chain. What do I mean? Value chain is we represent government of Uganda in exploration and development, where you explore and develop the oil and remove it from the ground to the surface. We represent government there, together with international joint ventures. Because you see, this is purely business, and government does not operate like that as a business. So it establishes a company to do business. Then we represent you and the government in the, what we call, when the oil is on the surface, it must be transported, it must be refined. So you have a pipeline and you have a refinery. What in our language we call midstream, but I don't want to complicate things.
Please do not.
This morning. So we represent government in the transportation and refining, which is the section that is in the midstream. And then we represent government at the end, where the product reaches the end user. So we have storage terminals where you have removed it from the ground, you have transported it, you have refined it, you must store it. So we represent government at the end tail, which is the storage, where the product finally reaches the end user. Now, as a business, that's a lot of work, because you are along the entire value chain. In some countries, national oil companies may only be in the exploration and development. Once it comes to the surface, another person probably takes off. But for us as UNOC, we represent government commercial interests along the entire chain, from removal from the ground to when it is in your at the pump station, really. Yeah, so that is what we do. But another thing we are tasked to do as Uganda National Oil Company, when you're doing that business, you must build the capacity of Ugandans so that they do this work themselves in the near future. Initially, we have joint venture partners, okay, but in the near future, we do things ourselves. And we also encourage local companies to benefit from this business, which will bring me to the national content issue. Our role is to really build capacity for Ugandans, encourage businesses, individuals to participate in this business of oil and gas so that we retain value with our people and that they benefit. So those are our real mandates: capacity, national content, retain value, and also represent you in commercial interests along the entire chain.
So now we know very well where to throw the stones, having known that you're managing our oil through all these chains on our behalf. So it's the government company managing this.
Yes.
So now Ugandans are very aware. Then briefly, the excitement of our first oil. How soon? Just briefly.
Okay, the conversation around first oil remains, and the timeline remains. We have been very clear in the second quarter of next year, 2026. And so we are all gunning towards that. If you go down to the Albertine Graben, the magnitude of work going on, because every company, that is Tilenga, which is the Total side of things, and Sinok, which is the China side of things, are all gunning for this timeline. So we're on course. We're on course.
Okay. Now, that having been said, let's look at today's topic, which is national content. And before we even go any further into national content, it is also very important. This is more or less a term that people in the oil sector are using: national content, national content. Now, Sarah, help us understand, what does national content mean in context of Uganda's oil?
National content, like you said, is a term. But ideally, the layman's understanding and my understanding, because I'm also a layman, it is where there is a deliberate, the key word there is deliberate inclusion and participation of Ugandan businesses, okay, Ugandan individuals to benefit from the oil and gas sector, and we retain value, okay, and Ugandans benefit. So the word national content is where you have, goes out of the way, government and goes out of the way, has gone out of the way with laws and everything to make sure Ugandans benefit in this sector. It is deliberate. And what is deliberate there? You ensure that businesses participate. You ensure that there is employment. You ensure that people capacity is built. Ugandans' capacity as individuals and businesses, their capacity to participate is built, because this was a new field. So you make sure companies are trained, you make sure they are brought on board so that they don't miss opportunities. When bids are going out from the oil companies, they are ready. They can put in their bids and they can win contracts. Those are deliberate moves done through capacity building. And you do that for both companies and even individuals like us. Then you make sure that when the development stage like we are in now of the oil and gas, to make sure it comes on the surface and all those other things I explained, you make sure Ugandans are employed. If Ugandans can do the work, no need to have international people doing that work. So they are clear, ring-fenced things for Ugandans to do. And that is really to push up employment, to build our capacity, make sure our goods and services locally, because you know we have these things. Our goods and services are utilized in the development and the operations of this sector. So that is the deliberate thing I'm talking about. Our goods and services must be used. Our people must be employed. Our people must be trained and technology transferred from the international experts to ourselves. That, in a nutshell, is national content, the term, but that is the deliberate move by government and Uganda National Company in this sector. That's why we do that.
Well, you've talked about there are areas that are ring-fenced for Ugandans, meaning if you're not a Ugandan, you can't take that opportunity. Now, help us or take us through the opportunities that exist for Ugandan companies in the oil and gas value chain.
That's a very good one, and it is always exciting because you don't want people to feel left out. Yeah, starting, I have talked about things that were ring-fenced. There were 16 areas. I'm going to just run through very fast before I now say what is actually happening.
Okay.
Things like, let's talk about things like human resource services, okay? Things like provision of goods and services that are here, stationary, what? Communication, things like surveying, environment, engineering, those areas where we have trained children and we have studied, our universities work. Those areas were kept for our children. Surveying, environment, geophysics, because these things exist. Now, bringing it home in the upstream, which is the exploration and development phase of the oil and gas sector, where we remove the product from the ground to the surface, we have had opportunities available for people who did geology, the geologists, geophysics, engineering, environmental, all those you can see are fields people have studied, so they get the jobs precisely. We get, we get drilling support. Our children have studied, I'm telling you. You go to the Albertine Graben and you see a little girl who's just probably finished her university education, and she's a drilling engineer. It's very gratifying. So those jobs that we can do have been there, and are the opportunities that are set for that period called exploration and development, okay? But of course people eat. They will always eat. Now you're looking at catering, food supply, health and safety. People now study health and safety, and they get proper degrees in them. Our children have jobs. Health and safety services, our children have jobs. Then of course administration. Now in the entire development and exploration, there have been tremendous jobs being given to our people. Those are now very high-end jobs, but don't forget they're the support services, they're the, what we call, the support services, really. Those jobs have all been there. Transportation, logistics, my job, corporate services, those jobs have been available. That is one section. Moving on, because I told you once you remove the oil, you must transport it and refine it. You're now moving into what we call the midstream in our language, but it's technically transportation and refining, adding value to the product you have brought from the ground. Now, there, when you move into refining, you're seeing we are building a refinery. We're going to build the refinery. You definitely need all that is involved there, the refinery experts, opportunities again in engineering, surveying the land where things are going to happen, the environmentalists, having the environments approved, people who do the greening of the area, administration, the same jobs really, IT solutions, transportation. We do have all that as available opportunities. I'm going to break down for you you, after that, some statistics that I'll read for you. But I want you to create the picture that you have removed the oil, you're now transporting it, you need engineers, you need surveyors, you need supporters, you need everybody, and those jobs have been there.
So we don't see Chinese driving trucks?
No, you don't see Chinese driving trucks, and you don't see Chinese building the resettlement houses. No, the jobs that we can do, and Ugandans are very qualified, we are doing. And I'll give you the statistics on that. Then when you have refined and added value, you must store. That's where I take you to what we call in our language, downstream. Downstream really means we are storing the product that was removed, that has been transported and refined, now it's being stored. We have 2 storage terminals, one not yet built, but you know we have Ginger. Ginger has been there, 30 million liters, and then we intend to build one here in Mpigi, what we call the Kampala storage terminal, huge one, because that one is 320 million liters storage.
The other one, Ginger, is 30 million.
30 million. Now, when you have tanks, you're already creating jobs. There are people who must clean those tanks. Okay? There are people who must look after them. There are people who must clear the ground around. So all that lab testing, because before things are stored, these guys who have done lab work will have opportunities to work now. The product, the petroleum product, is tested. Is it the right one? After refining quantity and quality, then it is stored. So I've been to Nairobi, and I've looked at the labs they have. Boy, you know, a huge lab. Not the small labs we went to school with. And guys are working. Every product that comes from abroad, because now these are imported, is first tested for quality before it is, you know, in the labs, before it is put in the pipes to be taken to its destination. So all those are jobs coming up for our children in the downstream sector, which means the storage area before it leaves the tanks to the pump station and into your car. Now, if I'm to really give you some statistics.
I'm very interested in the statistics.
Mind-boggling statistics.
Because now, you're promising huge opportunities. So far, what do we have there in terms of records?
In terms of statistics, but the use of locally, because I told you national content, then you must be using our products. Now, today.
So we have the Bubu policy there.
Yes, you do. Now, in the use of locally produced goods and services from 2017, okay, to 2024, the licensees, I mean the joint venture partners, Total, Sinok, they awarded contracts worth, for goods and services only, $5.3 billion US dollars, okay? Meaning people who brought this, that, and the other from here, okay, or elsewhere. But of those 5.3, 39% were local companies. They provided those goods and services, which comes up to $2.1 billion given to local companies to feed into this sector. That is what happened for goods and services. Now, when we look at, because I told you national content means you build the capacity of small enterprises, big enterprises to participate in this sector. This was a new field. Now, small and medium enterprises, those that went through capacity building, grooming, preparation, and getting ready to participate, over 2,700 small and medium enterprises were trained in different aspects required in this sector. Health, you know, this sector is very key on quality, health and safety, you know, environment, bid management. How do you manage a bid and win a bid? Okay, financing, corporate governance, among others. 2,700 small and medium enterprises will never be the same because of the training they've been given. Now, when we go to knowledge transfer is where companies create joint ventures. It is a key thing in national content that Mr. Chirabo is not competent enough as Mr. Chirabo and enterprises. He partners with a joint venture called something, you know, a company from abroad. Let's call it Scott and Company. So you create a joint venture so that you pick brains, expertise, and win bids. Okay? Now, 66 companies had created such ventures of Sarabanaga and Company and Scott and Company, a venture, so that we participate in the sector. 66 of those had done that venture business in the second quarter of last year, 2024. Of the 66 joint ventures created, 35 joint ventures actually got contracts. You see people here, they're happy, driving nice cars, doing good work, and they are in partnerships with international companies that are experienced and they have knowledge, and they are working together in this sector. 35 of them got contracts, and the money there, over 330 million US dollars has been given to joint ventures of that kind. Okay, so we used to encourage people, you are not sufficient alone. Don't shy away from creating associations and even bringing in international companies to partner with you, because you will be solid and you'll be able to win these bids. But also knowledge is transferred. That company can never be the same after working with an experienced international company from abroad. Now I'll give you things about employment. This is also a very exciting story. Now, over 160 jobs in this 60,000 jobs are expected to be created. These jobs come into like the direct, like direct. Then there is indirect, where because I provided a service, therefore I was employed. I ended up providing my tomatoes and my everything to those people. I was not in oil and gas, but I was indirect. Then induced, that because when I provided the tomatoes and whatever to this industry for them to eat under catering, induced is that many more farmers started growing the same product, so that they are providing me the contractor given. Induced is like a ripple effect. When you have a sector like oil and gas and the magnitude of work it does, there is a lot of, forget the direct, indirect, but induced is even bigger, because that money trickles down. It trickles down in terms of provisions. When I say goods and services, not only those who handed them and had the contract, which I'm reading here, but those who provided to the contractor to provide to the sector, is what makes sense to us as Ugandans. So for jobs, really, currently by September last year, which is a year ago, the statistics I have were over 100,000 such jobs have been induced. Just induced because the sector is vibrant, things are happening.
How are you able to capture those? Because direct and indirect, but how are you able to capture the induced?
The direct and indirect give you what is induced, because they have people behind them. These studies are done. They give you the statistics. That's why I've given you September 2024. I may not tell you over the last half year, but this has been over time. You know, they watch it, and it is captured over time. Yeah, and so these are the kind of jobs. We have over 15,000 direct jobs by September last year. We had over 34,000 jobs by September last year, and 100,000 jobs induced by September last year. So those statistics come off very, very well. And our people, why they have been able to do business, we were always clear, you must be on the national supplier database.
Well, very interesting. You must be on the national supplier database, because I was going to ask you that then how do people get these jobs? You know, you're speaking in figures, your statistics, you're talking in thousands of people. When we come to money, you're talking in thousands, hundreds. But the question is, are Uganda watching us? For example, one would wonder and want to know, how is it possible we didn't see adverts in papers that now we want someone who is going to give us tomatoes? We didn't see that now we are looking for welders. You know, we didn't see, but the jobs are there and people have taken them. And the monies you're talking about them. So that brings Bajifuna Batia. Is it through technical know-how? Do you go to universities and get best performing students? We'll handle that after this break. Keep it with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical-looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person, who recommends me to another person, who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break, and thank you for keeping it with us. We are still with UNOC Uganda, that's the Uganda National Oil Company, and we are looking at national content or participation of Ugandans in the oil and gas sector. And before we went for a break, I talked about people wondering, how do these people secure these deals? Let me use that word. How do they get these jobs? Banange. People have gone to school. How do I get into this? People have grown food. People have companies here, catering and all that. How do they get these jobs? Sarah, please take us through.
Yes, that's a very important question because the pool of where to pick from is so big. And that is exactly why the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, from the start, and it did a kind of a countrywide campaign going, you must be registered as a company on the National Supplier Database. That was done at the beginning. It is still going on. If you are ready as a company, the starting point is the National Supplier Database. Why? It's because all the companies that are the joint ventures that want business to be done in this sector, their starting point is that database. The database has every company stipulating the business they are good at, when they were established, and so you pick from there. Even UNOC picks from there if we are going to work with a company. Total picks from there. CNOC, even these tier 1 contractors pick from there who they can partner with and then do this work. The National Supplier Database. What PAU, who is our regulator, did, we used to find them even at the district level. They would go different districts. These are districts especially in the Albertine Graben where the oil comes from. Then they would encourage local companies now to also register, because when these companies were going to come down, they needed to check who is there. When someone is formally registered and on that database, they become easy to work with. You push out things like briefcase companies. What does it take to be on the national supplier database. That is for companies, but before I get to that, I need to explain. You are an individual, Mr. Chirago. You studied, you are educated. There is also what they call the talent register, the national talent register, or still on the regulator's website. These things are on the website. You register as a talented Ugandan. That me, I'm a talented environmentalist, a talented surveyor, engineer, drill engineer. You register yourself. That is for individuals. So when companies are looking for human resource, they know where to pick from. So that is the starting point. There are two registers, the company one and the individual ones. Where are they? On the Petroleum Authority website, who is the regulator. I'll give you the website at the end. But what does it take? You are asking me. It is not know-who. It is not technical know-who. To get onto that register where they pick you from, one, you must have a tax clearance. Because every other business or bid that you're going to bid for in any other industry, not necessarily oil and gas, goodness, you must be paying your taxes. You must be clean on the URA portal that you have cleared your taxes, tax clearance. Number two, you must have a certificate of incorporation. Will we deal with someone we don't know? When was he incorporated? Clear paperwork, certificate of incorporation. Number two. Three, you must have an NSSF certificate clearance, a clearance certificate, because you know that these are key things in compliance. You cannot run a business over 5 people and you have never been on the NSSF register. You don't pay people's NSSF. They have nothing to come, some years to go, you know. So the NSSF clearance is very important. Then the URSB, you know, this is the body that is, you must, you're a serious business. So don't sit here and crying that I've not participated. Do you have an NSF clearance certificate? Are you filing annual returns with the URSB? Those are things we look for, and they are, once you have these, plus the bank reference number letter, that you have a bank. You don't bank under the bed, you know, that you have a bank, you have a clearance letter. Those are 5, is it 5? Or, yeah, 5 key things. A company, a normal business, and all businesses have them if they are good businesses. Take those things, register on the portal, be part of the national supplier database. You will not cry. Because then you are beginning to fall in the other statistics I talk about, that so much money given to contractors on the NSD, National Supplier Database, worth this amount of money. That is how you get to start to do business here.
Now, having known how you get to do business, of course, there are requirements. If you do not qualify, it's simply make sure how do you have these documents in place, get there, and if opportunity comes, you know, there's a saying that opportunity comes to those who are prepared. So if you're well prepared and opportunity comes, then you never know what will happen. You may partake of that. Now, I'm looking at efforts being done to ensure that local companies compete with international companies, and they are also empowered to do that. Because one clear thing Ugandans should know, that we believe after a certain time, Sarah will verify the time, that these internationals are going to give way to us. And we Ugandans must have built capacity to take over this sector 100%. Now, what is being done?
Okay, very important. Your starting point, let me start from training individuals like me and you. Training is very important. We have trained over 14,000 Ugandans in international certification. International certification in things like welding, metal fabrication, because this is the business we are in. If you're in the business of pipelines, okay, like we are, you know, after the oil leaves the ground, must be transported. I talked about that thing. Or must be stored. All that is metalworks, fabrication, welding. So when we noticed that there was a gap there, government was very, very intentional. It got 14 licenses in different institutions here in Uganda to have 14 certified international licenses given to these institutions to teach our people. Makerere is there, Uganda Petroleum Institute, Chigumba is there. There are quite a number. Now, you go there, youth, our youth have gone there. Our youth, just like they apply to Makerere, and they apply to Mukono. Our youth apply to these institutions that have international certification. Until you leave, when you have an international certification, you can work in Congo. When Congo is finally also developing its sector, you can work in Malawi or Angola, even South Africa, because it's an international what? Certification. We have that. That training is happening in different institutions here in Uganda, 14 different institutions. That's why I have this statistic that over 14,000 Ugandans, it means really youth kind of, have been trained and internationally certified. Those people can work anywhere because they've been certified internationally in different things: welding, health, quality, safety. You know, the things of oil and gas are very specific. It will be health and safety, it will be welding, it will be environmental, that kind of thing. And they have scaffolding, movement of huge heavy vehicles, that kind of thing. And they have their international certificates in the bag. Working here, ready to work outside Uganda. So that's how we prepare people. That's individuals. When you go to companies or enterprises, now, we do have 2,700 enterprises, I told you, that have been trained, built capacity for. How does that happen? It is through workshops. We have held workshops, and we continue to hold workshops. We had one recently at the Sheraton. We take them to Moya. We go around and we call companies. There is a ramp bump, because you only call those on the national supplier database. No need to call the briefcase man. He is not yet on the road to supplying. Now you call those, they come, they attend, we take them through. I'll give you typical examples. How do you win a bid? You know, what is required? Very important, because people may do, we don't know. This is a new sector. So you take him through the drill of the bid is advertised. This is what you do. Apply like this. Make sure national NSSF clearance is handed in. Make sure your national content, how do you employ Ugandans? Make sure we teach you the drills of winning a bid. So you go back as a company, you create units. Clever companies, they create units, and this unit is winning a deal. You call it a deal. Winning a deal in oil and gas, because they've got the what? The training. So we train companies as well, and that's why I gave you these statistics, okay? And out of those, I mean, they have got money. We call them through conferences, we call them through workshops, and they have won bids. We have the statistics. They win bids after the training. Then the other thing, how we prepare our people to win and work in this sector. There are some fields that are a bit complicated. They are not simple. Then we have room to ask you, look out for a partner who knows, who has the experience, who can work with you. Because maybe what this sector is asking for is a bit too standardized. My dear business, you have not yet got to that level. But every time you partner with someone who knows it all, you learn. You learn, and knowledge will be transferred. The other thing you have told me, that these people will finally go away and will be the one driving, in the driving seat. So partnerships, I gave you even the statistics. You know, 66 joint ventures, they partner with experienced industry experts, okay? And out of those 66, so far 35 of that nature have won businesses equivalent to over $300 million, okay? So there are ways you can win and you participate here. This oil and gas is for our people. The role of UNOC is to make sure value is retained and people benefit. If you don't benefit as a company through the capacity building, you will benefit as an individual, Sarah, employed and trained. You will benefit as an individual, a youth in a polytechnic or a vocational, getting international certification. You will benefit as a joint venture with partners who know more, so that you win bids. That's how we are preparing our people. That's how people have been getting this money. If I was to show you slides, if it was if I was to show you slides, if it was a presentation, and I show you the different companies in this who are winning. All these are companies, entities that are winning, you know. Different entities have won. Their logos are here. They are happy. They are doing business in this sector. They have been awarded contracts. You see, they've been True North. These are people who they are HR experts, right? You know, these are logistics. They provide logistics. These are consultants, okay? AF Mpanga, these are lawyers. You can see, you know, this is Toyota Motors, you know, the Toyota people. City Medicals, surely you've seen City Medicals on the roads, even in Hoima, you know, National Water, these are people winning, okay? I move on. Hoima Resort, these are hotels, okay? Nina Interiors, these are, Nina Interiors is here. Furniture, they are winning, you know, Pali Engineering, they are an engineering firm, New Vision. I'm very sure you people also, UBC, there's some money that trickles to you, maybe not directly, but induced or something, you know. These are lawyers. So fabrication, this is metal fabricants, they are there. Gulf Engineering, these are local companies. So these companies have done the right thing. But where did they start? Registering on the National Supplier Database. And where did the individuals start? Registering on the Talent Register on the regulator's website. That's how you win. That's how we are keeping this professional. And in a few years, when these who we have partnered with are phasing out, we are able to do the work ourselves. For example, we as UNOC, you know very well, we've started off as a joint venture with Total and Sinok. But as I speak now, we won our own license as UNOC to develop a block on our own. It's called Kasurubani, because that shows you when you have walked in the footsteps of someone for a while.
That is a huge investment.
Yes.
Where are you going to get the money?
Oh, I mean, we are...
You know, Total...
well, we are in the driving seat.
And they have a lot of money to invest in this.
We are in the driving seat.
And the expertise as well.
That's why we are also looking for a partner. But it is us in the driving seat.
Oh, now, Sarah, that has settled me. It's because I was looking at our government, even if we have our first, if you are to risk in this huge investment.
Oh, we are moving.
Then it would be disaster, but good, we are looking for a partner.
We are in the driving seat. We are doing all the preliminary work, because by the time you attract a partner, you must have done preliminary work and things are looking rosy for them to come and partner with you. That's where we are. We are also looking for a joint venture, like how Total and Sinok also got a joint venture, us. Now we are the ones looking for a joint venture for someone to come and partner with us to do Kasurubani. And that has confidence comes from the fact that you have walked a mile with people who know, now you feel ready to do it yourselves. To do it yourselves. Yes.
Well, we've been discussing national content. In my field, we call it local content. This is giving Ugandans opportunity, because indeed they are entitled. This is our oil, opportunity to work and gain in the oil sector. So that is not left to only foreigners. And Sarah has been mentioning areas that are ring-fenced strictly for you Ugandans, but also how best you can get on this database, because that's where they look for people to give opportunities, companies to give opportunities. I've looked at a number of them, and now I knew oil money is flowing. Oil money is flowing directly, indirectly, and that is induced. When we talk about Nina Interiors, for example, a company I've seen there, well, it means these are dealing in furniture. Now, if they are selling Ugandan furniture, that I don't know, I don't want to go into that, because at the end of this, you want also boo-boo policy to work. That yes, if you're going to supply and this is available here, don't import and supply. Look for our local people who are doing that, better that, or look for our local materials and produce that, then we sell in here. Sarah, I must be letting you off soon, but let me just have your parting shot in 2 minutes.
Okay. there were some statistics that I had not shared.
Please.
Of Ugandan companies that have benefited from contractors. They're the main contractor, or they are subcontracted within the sector. Statistics. So over 600 contractors directly working with the Total and Sinok. Those are over 600 contractors. Okay, in tier one, our people 600, and then over 2,000 contractors, Ugandans, are working as subcontractors in tier 2. Because even in tier 1 we have Ugandan companies. Then even in tier 2 we have Ugandan companies. When you had 2,000 plus over 600, you're looking at over 2,600 companies. Oil is flowing, oil money is in their pockets, working in either tier 1 or tier 2 in this sector. What are my parting shots? My parting shots are, when we took time to start, it was for a purpose. It was so we don't make the mistakes our forefathers made in other countries. So where are we now? We got something good going on. We've got something good going on from what I've just explained to you in terms of employment, in terms of capacity building, training, transferring knowledge. We've got something good going on. What I encourage our people to know is that if it is going on well, don't sit on the fence. Get involved. I have explained and I will continue explaining. Get involved, because if this right now is moving to fast oil, there is another right behind it, Kasurubani with UNOC coming up, because the way the sector operates, there is always reserves replacement. Reserves, what do I mean? A replacement. Now you're developing this, now you're taking it out of the way, a new one must be coming. So there is always something to feed the infrastructure we have built. So it's not yet a dead cause. If you didn't take part in the current development phase where we're moving to fast oil, there is a development phase coming right behind where you will take part. Preparation never stops. Just prepare. Call us. Call us. If I was to visit our website, check our social media pages.
What is your website, your social media pages for my viewer to get that right?
Our pages, go to our website. It's a very good starting point. You'll find everything
there. That is
there.
the UNOC website?
Yes, the UNOC website, which is unoc.com. Go to the website. You will take it from there. You will find our telephone numbers. You will find our plot number, plot 15 on Yusufullah Road. You will come in. I will talk to you. So will other people. You will call us. We will have a conversation on phone. You will find our social media pages. You will write to us. You will find our info mail, because we also have a mail facility on that website. So just take www.unoc.com, at unoc.com. Yes, just type in UNOC anyway. It's the search engine will give it to you. Then you start from there. Let's have a conversation. Let's get involved. Let's benefit together.
Well, thank you very much, Sarah, for your time. And of course, above all, you, my bosses, our viewer who wakes up with us, those that began the day with us at 6:30, I, Joe, and Julie, and then Ruben comes in with sports. And all those that have joined along the way, it's been the extra with me. I cannot get tired of thanking you for always having time. Now, more programming and interesting programming is coming your way. Keep it with us. We are here 24 hours, 7 days a week. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.